Awesome, awesome. Professor Thom Hartmann, I highly respect your opinion. I am educated by you daily. So I so appreciate you getting my call so fast. I believe that Trump has been the most dangerous president in history. However, he was enabled by another horrible president. And it's been my belief that in 1913, Woodrow Wilson got together with J.P. Morgan and Carnegie et al. On Jekyll Island to be able to enable the corporatization of America. Yesterday, you mentioned that some people are intending to be sovereign citizens, and you mentioned criteria where their names were in all caps, etc. This has to do with that. I need you to straighten me out on my belief. I love our country. I love the freedom of religion that is provided to us and allow migration to be encouraged, etc. However, I've evaluated that there has been an effort to corporatize the corporatization of America so that corporations can be persons. And in order to support political parties to sway elections, for lobbying, money to Supreme Courts and lower courts, and I believe that that they weren't able to give corporations personhoods, so instead they enabled people to be corporations, and that's why back in 1913, all people were designated to be in capital letters when it comes to voting. They wanted people to be corporations so that there can be communication and to increase this possibility of fascism in the United States.
Yeah.
All caps on birth certificates, all caps on driver's licenses.
Yeah.
All our names
Roger,
are...
Roger, I got it.
Yes.
I got it. This is one of the more bizarre and untruthful conspiracy theories that has been promoted for, probably 5-6 decades now in the United States. It's become part of the Q-Anon epistemology, and but it's much loved by the sovereign citizen folks, and it's complete BS. Americans are not corporations. America is not a corporation. Corporate personhood was first established in 1815 in a Supreme Court decision called Dartmouth v. somebody, I forget who it was, might have been the U.S., in which the Supreme Court recognized that a corporation had the corporate personhood, not human personhood, but they had to have some sort of status in order to pay taxes and to be sued and to own land. And so they acknowledged, so in 1815, the Supreme Court recognized Dartmouth, which at that time was actually a foreign corporation, as a corporation. Corporate personhood went a big step farther beyond that in 1886 in the Southern Pacific Railroad case, and then, became, and then corporations achieved the rights of persons to, under the Bill of Rights in 1978 in the First National Bank versus Bellotti Supreme Court decision. But none of that has to do with whether your name is in all caps or not. That's completely irrelevant. It's meaningless. It means absolutely nothing. And, that's it. I mean, corporations were given rights by the Supreme Court that, in my opinion, they shouldn't have. But this whole theory that people are corporations and America is a corporation and you can get out of it and you don't have to pay your taxes if you just,
This is not I am very upset that corporations have such a sway when it comes to elections and buying off.
I'm with you, but that has nothing to do with 1913. That has nothing to do with the creation of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve was created in order to stabilize the currency of the United States. It's our federal bank, and pretty much every country in the world has an equivalent of that. You pretty much have to. The problem was that when we were on the gold standard and all those things were being handled just by the Treasury Department, as the economy grew, the country had to have more and more gold in order to have the currency grow along with the economy. If the currency couldn't grow as fast as the economy, then the problem that you encountered was that the currency would have to become more and more valuable, and that would cripple the economy. You'd have what's the equivalent of deflation, and or the uncontrollable strengthening of the currency. It's the opposite of inflation, or deflation, where but this would be deflation. It's the opposite of inflation. And that's basically why the Fed came into being. And I'm not a huge fan of the Fed, but if we did away with the Fed tomorrow, we would drop into a depression like you ain't never seen before. I mean, it would just be a disaster.
It's just that I'm highly upset about fascism, and I don't want to drop into the fascism aspect as well. So I really appreciate your input on that, and thank you for at least quelling my
You're welcome,
belief
Roger.
in that.
You're welcome. Take a deep breath. It's people have been filling you with or trying to shovel BS at you. You can relax. Roger, appreciate the call. It's 47 minutes past the hour. We'll be back in 60 seconds.